There's a car show coming up in a couple weeks. MVOC. It's a Volkswagen specific car show. Now, I could do the reasonable thing and take a car like this that's in pretty good shape, looks decent, it's road legal, reliable. It'll definitely make it there. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take this rotten old Jetta. I traded a snowmobile for this over the winter. It's junk. It needs a strut tower fixed. It needs a subframe fixed. It barely runs. It's dilapidated, basically. There's holes in the doors, rocker panels, tires, wheels, brakes probably, engine stuff. Anyway, plan is I'm going to get this car fixed, road legal, reliable, painted, wheels and tires, take it to a car show. All for less than $500. Welcome to Cody's Corner Garage. So, over the winter, we got this car running and drove it home from a friend's house. I'll link that video. But basically, I have it starting reasonably well now, as long as it didn't lose its prime. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to put it in the garage and get it up on the hoist. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's no seat rails in this. Nice. For the glow plugs here. All right, here we go. Oh, this is going to be great. Noah decided he'd come over and give me a hand, so
timing belt time.
Yeah, I got him doing the timing belt, actual work, while I just sit back here and start digging into the strut tower and eating 15 pounds of rust. So yeah, let me know if you need a hand, and good luck, sir.
Thank you.
So here's a strut tower situation. There isn't a strut tower. See, the strut tower's over here. So that needs to get fixed and then welded back into the car. This is all that was holding it in before, and that broke off, so no good. Anyway, we'll get to work on that. How's it going up here, Noah? Oh, just breaking these. Oh,
Going to break these loose.
good looking cam. Well, have fun.
Oh, thanks.
So, I knew that this car had a piece of another car grafted into it at some point, so I wanted to sand that down and get a better look what I was dealing with. And I decided to take this fender flare off to see what that looked like underneath. And now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't have done that. So, I'm going to ignore all that. I'm going to put it back on. We're going to fix the strut tower. And my original plan was to paint this car and have it looking half decent. I don't think it's worth it anymore. But I'm still going to try and get it on the road on a budget. I'm still going to do a really cheap rattle can, you know, on the whole car. Probably. And I'm still going to take it to the car meet. So, we're not giving up on it. We're just giving up on making it, you know, a shiny, nice, perfect car. Because that's a mess and I'm not dealing with that. So I've been off camera a little bit, working on trying to make this look a little better. I think I got her just about smoothed out now to the point where you're starting to not be able to notice that it's two cars spliced together. A little bit up here that I might have to go over again, but that's a lot better than it was. It's still going to be noticeable if you know what you're looking at, obviously, but to the passerby, you know, oh yeah, it's a pretty good looking car, right? You won't really see this so much, hopefully. Alright, so we got the strut tower all patched up. It's in there, solid, really, really well. It's kind of, anyway, it's in there. Solid. Done. Okay, on to the next thing. This is not so good. You know, it's very... So the next thing's the rocker panel. So what I'm going to do here is going to look really bad at first, okay? But just bear with me. I have a plan. And what I'm going to do with this car, it's going to tie into that. And when this, you just see it, when the car is done, you'll get it, okay? But just don't click away. It's going to look terrible at first. Just, I have a plan in my head, a vision of, I can see the, anyway. All right. Well, let's get to work. I haven't started on the rocker panel yet, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. I am going to replace those self-tappers. That's just to hold it for now, but after the car gets painted, I'm going to rivet those in. This will get the same treatment. And just, if you hang out for just a couple minutes, I'll explain. So what I need now is a piece of metal that's about, I'm going to say 5 feet long by probably, let's say, we'll say half an inch there. Let's say 4.5 inches. So 5 feet by 4.5 inches. Where am I going to find a piece of metal like that? Yeah. How wide is that? Yep. Not quite. Okay. So no for that.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we are getting back on the wheelbarrow. The weather's been absolutely awesome. The track's finally dry. We took the grader out on it and really leveled it off. So this thing really needs to get up on the track. All we have left is to get the steering a little bit figured out. I have some changing I want to make to the back. I have the center drive we got to get all done. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to wait for the electronics right at this point because I really don't need the lights. What the hell was that?
Alright, so I found this piece of pipe here. And I think I'm going to try and turn that into a rocker panel. So I'll be cutting a slit on it all the way down, making it the right length, and then flattening it out gradually until I get the curve that I want. And then I'll probably put another little piece of 90-degree made out of something else that I can put together with this to mimic that pinch weld. And yeah, we'll just put her back together that way. Hopefully this works, because it's a little hard to get. So I started cutting this thing to be able to split it open, bend it into shape for a rocker panel. And as you can see, I'm just cutting a slit down it, and it's already popping open as I'm cutting. So I think this is going to bend pretty easily into the shape that I want, but we'll have to see. I have a plan. I think I'm just going to lay it, vice grip it across that, and then I can use that flat edge and bend it, kind of conform it to that shape. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. Let's try and bend this and see what happens.
Piece of bed frame right there, dude.
Yeah, what about it?
Clamp maybe on here and use it as the big.
Ooh.
Because then we can get like we can go
Yeah.
clamp, 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 or like clamp, clamp. Maybe put 4 on. I might have to rip it. Maybe not.
No,
Use these arms.
use them as a handle.
This is just okay. So we're gonna spin it with this edge on that. Look, it's got a handle and everything.
Well, that might work. Bending.
1 second here. We gotta get.
That's the middle. Now, do we want to put any more on or just try and bend it?
More on.
Huh.
I'm gonna go like this. Okay. Whoa. Check that.
Bend.
Oh, it was just you getting past the.
Now we're hitting voice down there. Well, that's starting to look like a rocker panel. Okay. It's the right length, the right height, kind of the right bend. It looks like a rocker panel, kinda. I don't know about you, but that kind of looks like a rocker panel to me. By the time we get it all put together and straightened out, I don't think that's too bad, considering that it was a free piece of pipe when I started. Beats this. Hey there, we've moved outside. It's a nice day out. I figure it's time to dust this thing off and start painting it. So I'm going to start with the stuff that's going to be flat black. I'm going to paint the fender flares, the bumpers, the hood. That's all going to be flat black. And then you'll see what the rest is going to be here shortly. Sometime soon. Just keep watching, stick around. It's going to be cool. It's going to be really awesome, actually. I'm really excited about it. Okay, let's wash this thing off. Now, by no means here am I a paint expert, but I have learned a thing or two over the years. One of those things is I'm way too lazy to paint a car, as you can tell. So what I did here is I just opened the hood, laid some cardboard across the windshield. I gave that a scuff and wiped it down with some paint thinner. We're going to put that over the antenna, like so. And now, you can paint that flat black with the hood open, and if it oversprays, it doesn't matter, because it's up in the open. Didn't have to take the hood off, didn't have to mask anything. I'm lazy. So, probably don't do it this way, but it's how I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. When I get to the washer nozzles here, I'm just going to be really careful to not coat the end of them in paint. I don't even know if they work actually, so we'll see. Here we go. You showed up just in time. I need you to hold the hood for me.
Yeah,
Don't grab the top of it, just hold it from here. Yeah.
Hi.
This is Adam.
Hi, camera.
He's gonna help me.
What do I say? Oh,
He's-
oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, just throw him on the ground. He's got his own YouTube channel, Red Nectar, and he's gonna be helping me paint this car. I just need you to hold this up for now. Just grab it from underneath and hold it up. So I can fog this down a little more along the front. You're gonna get some overspray on your hands. Perfect. I was gonna take the hood off at first, and then I went, no, I'm too lazy. Not happening. Alright, I've disassembled a little bit. I painted some stuff black that I wanted to paint. Still gotta do the front bumper, but I ran out. I've lightly scuffed the entire car now. I'm going to give it one more bath now that the hood's dry. Then wipe this all down with some thinner and mask off the mirrors, door handles, windows, everything. And I think we're finally ready to start painting this thing. Wife's in the house cutting up some stencils, so we'll get to work here soon. Alright, so we got it all taped off. Time to start painting. So my plan for this is the whole car is going to be camouflage. But I think what I'm going to do is lay down just kind of a base of different colors all over the car. And then I'll come back after with stencils and clean up the edges. So that's what the plan is. Let's just start hitting it with paint and see what happens. I'm doing it in the dark, so I can't be too fussy about it. Here we go. Okay, I'm getting eaten alive and done. Okay, let's put some stuff away and that'll be it for tonight. How's it look? Well, starting to get the idea. It'll look better when we clean it up with the stencils and start making spots. And... Well, that's going to do it for tonight. We're getting eaten alive out here, so we're calling it quits. I'll be back in the morning. Well, good morning. Here it is. I'm not a fan of this green yet, but I've got a lot of it, so I'm going to use it for now, and I can always cover it up later. This isn't the finished product. This is just the initial base coat of a few different patches of colors, just to try and make it so that when I lay the stencils over, if there's any spots that I miss, at least there's something there. And what I'm going to do is when I lay a stencil on, I'm basically going to try and make sure that it's all staying the same color, and then I'll have some hard edges, kind of make this all look way better. But for now, I just wanted to get some color down. Let me just give you a walk around and show you how this is going so far. So like I said, I'm not sold on this green yet. I think I need some kind of darker green. I also think I should get some kind of darker brown. I actually bought this one, but I don't know what it is about it, but it just comes out like water, so I'm not using it. So this is what we got. When I lay the stencils on, I'll try and get a few more colors added in here. The badges, I'm going to come back after and lay the letters in with some silver paint. So that'll be cleaned up. And I ran out of painter's tape, so that's what we got now. But yeah, it's getting there. It's starting to look like camouflage a little bit. So I'm just going to keep nailing this and see how far I can get. So after a lot of base coats of paint, this is what we got. So what we did was we made a bunch of stencils. Got about a couple dozen of these in all different shapes and sizes. So what I'm thinking is that I should just be able to take a stencil like that and say lay it over the edge of this, and now I can spray that in with black, and that gives me an actual finished edge to all that black. And I'll have something that looks like an actual camouflage pattern. So we're going to give that a try. If it doesn't work out, I'm going back to just leaving it like this and calling that good enough. You don't really need a plan going into this kind of stuff. You go with it. You go with the flow. If it works, just keep doing it. If it doesn't work, well, maybe do it anyway. I don't know. It's a $60 paint job. Well, turns out the stencil idea is just not going to work. We tried it and it's peeling the paint up and it's not really giving me the shapes that I want. And I think it actually looks better the way that it is. So change of plans. We're going to go with that for the camo. Camo's done. There, that was easy. All right, so now we can do the teeth. We can do a few other little things that I have planned. And then that'll be the paint pretty much knocked out. But first I got to fix that spot on the roof. Well, since we're done with everything on the back end of the car, we're only going to be painting, this area from now on. I think I'm going to start reassembling and unmasking things back here and just see how it turned out. Welcome back, guys. It's the next morning. Late last night I started putting this thing back together a little more after the camera died, and I gotta say, now that the grill and the signal lights, tail lights, all that stuff's back in, and some of the trim's back on, and masking tape's all off, this looks way better than I thought it would. So I'm not disappointed that the stencil thing didn't work out, because it already looks way better than it did when I got the car. So I can't get too excited yet, because there's still a lot of work to do, which is why I'm breaking out the cardboard list. So, what do we got left? Well, we have to finish the paint. Okay, we'll just umbrella that, because there's still quite a bit. We got to paint the bumper, we got to paint this valance, we got to paint under the back bumper. I'm going to say decal? Anyway, we got some of those to put on the car, whether I'm going to print them off on my wife's Cricut machine or paint them on, I don't know yet, but we'll call it decal. Okay. There's a fuel hose that needs to be replaced and clamped. Subframe connector. Subframe brace, we'll call that. And strut tower brace. Seat covers. My wife's going to work on those. Dash cover. You'll see what I mean coming up. Oh yeah, one side needs the seat rail fixed, but it's a passenger side, and I'm not going to have a passenger with me for MVOC, so do we really need that? I'll put a question mark beside it. Oh, radiator. I have a new radiator on the way. This one leaks. And I'm hoping that it's going to be here on Monday. Well, I think we got a list now. So where do I start? Well, given how much time I have right now to work on it, I think I'll start with something easy like spraying this valance and then mask it off and spray this bumper. Or maybe I'll spray the bumper first and then the valance. That seems like a better idea. Let's do that. Okay. List. I'm down to 6 days, by the way. So one of the things I wanted to do with these rivet patches is I wanted to put the rivets in after it was painted so they'd actually show up. Gives it kind of more of a, I don't know, like an aircraft look, I guess. Have all these riveted on. So, now that the paint's on, this is probably a terrible idea, but let's drill some holes. All right, I'm back. So I'm going to keep pounding away at these rivets down here. While I'm doing that, Emily's going to try some of her talent out on the hood and see if we can do some hand-painted stuff. And if that goes well, then we're going to hand-paint some stuff down here. In the meantime, like I said, I'm going to snap some rivets off, and then I'm going to put a wheel and tire that I want to try on the back just to see. But I'm pretty sure I have a set of wheels and tires for this that were basically free. So free's good. And if they look decent, that's even better. All right. Well, go to her.
Let's hope
I guess you want
right.
me to mix the paint first, don't you?
Yeah. Let's hope I spell it right.
We're married. You should know how to spell my name.
No.
I hope.
Sometimes I forget how to spell my own last name now.
This is true. Nice one, Emily.
I didn't even get paint on me. Love it.
Wow. I like it. Emily did a great job on the hood. So now we're going to... Like I was saying, Emily did a great job on the hood. So next, I'm going to put her to work making what I want here. I don't know if you've ever seen old World War II planes and they had the shark teeth painted on them. That's what we're going for here. We're going to have a shark mouth design looking thing, teeth, and an eye on the front fender. We're going to do the same thing on the other side of the car. And then I've got a few more little details planned out for the back, but you'll see those coming up. While I was down here getting these rivets done, Emily was working her magic over here. You can see that's starting to come together. I'm actually getting really excited about this. But once I got the rivets done, I decided to do something else productive. So here's our wheel choice. That's what we're going with. We're going to clean them up a little bit better, but that's the basic idea. They're actually a stock Volkswagen wheel. I think they were on the convertible Rivets. But yeah, that's what we're going to go with. We got a matching set all the way around. They should clean up pretty good. They do have different tires on the back than it will on the front, but hey, we're doing this as cheap as possible, and I already had the tires. So that's what we're using. How's it going, Emily?
Pretty good.
Looks good.
Okay.
Looks great.
Second coat, I guess.
Looks great. This is awesome. This car is turning out exactly like I wanted it to. So we've been working on cosmetics for so long that I almost forgot this car still needed some mechanical work. New radiator just showed up today, so I'm going to take some time off from painting and we're going to dive into changing the rad out. And all I could get was a later Mark II rad, so it has a different overflow line. So I needed to get an upper rad hose from a friend that is actually like 4 different ones spliced together or something. So this will probably explode on the way to MVOC down the highway, but we'll deal with that when it happens. In the meantime, let's get this old leaking radiator out and pop open our new one and see what it looks like. Actually, I should do that first. Yeah, let's open the first one. Let's get this and then okay. How do you get this open? All right, there's our radiator. Oh, it does have the right one. Nice. Didn't show that on the website. Okay, I don't have to change out the upper rad hose. I can leave that. Awesome. Oh, that just made my day 10 times better. So basically what I was talking about there was there's this hose which goes into a little spout off the side of the radiator. This is an early Mark II thing, like mid to late 80s. And then the later cars in the 90s switched over and got rid of this. And for some reason, they went to a new design, which was this. And the ones that had this didn't have that overflow spout on the radiator. So I don't need that now because the new radiator, even though it didn't show it on the website, does have an overflow spout. So we're good. That's all we need. Oh. Well, that was way more painful than it needed to be. So after taking the grill back out, trying to unmount that, taking the battery out, cutting part of the battery tray off, finally got the radiator out. This here was winding me up. It still has the dang old factory shroud and horn mount on it. Delete. Bye-bye. Okay. Problem number 2. This is not this. This is quite a bit narrower than this. As you can see, right here. Yeah. It's not. So we're going to try that anyway, and hopefully it works. But yeah, that's what we got, so that's what we're using. Taking parts off one of my old parts cars that we use at dirt track, so we're looking for radiator hoses. Bam, it has hoses. That's what we need. Out of the way. There we go. Out of the way. Okay. What do we got in here? Oh, I might have it. There she is. Alright. We'll see you back at Cody's Corner Garage headquarters. Well, that turned into a way bigger job than it needed to be. Finally got the rad in. We had to get rid of all this other garbage that was in the way. It's the wrong rad. It's too small. So hopefully it'll still cool the car, but we're going to find out. I had to move the mounts over. That's the original mount. I moved it over to that one. Slid the whole thing that way so that the battery would still fit because the fan shroud was hitting it over here. Had to split the upper hose and use a piece of pipe from my old shed out back. I just put some tack welds around the outside of each end to keep the clamps from coming off. And then the lower hose we pulled off of a parts cabriolet that was at the dirt track at Adam's place. Red Nectar YouTube channel. So now we're going to fire it up, girdle the system out, try and, circulate it and do the stuff and see if it still cools the car. Alright guys, Emily's been working her magic on the paint. I think it's looking really awesome myself. So, figured it's a good time to go through the list. So what do we got left? Paint, still working on it. Decals, not yet. Fuel hose, fixed. The 2 braces, I'm going to get them done probably tomorrow. Seat covers, yeah. Dash cover, yeah. Clean the interior, not done. Radiator, yes. Upper rad hose, yes. Wheels, tires, yes. Blanking plate for the radio, found it. Alright, we're down to paint, decals, the 2 braces that I need, clean the interior, and maybe fix a seat rail. I also realized last night, I took it for a quick drive when I was doing the radiator job, and the rear brake on this side is kind of making a sticking type deal, so I'm probably going to pull the drum off. I think it's just surface rusted on the inside of the drum from sitting around so long. So maybe I'll have a look at that. And that's about it. We're getting down. We're getting kind of close to having it sort of done ish, which is good because after today I've got what day is it? Tuesday. So I've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's fine. I'm sure we'll make it probably. I doubt I'm going to have time for a test drive, eh?
Like always.
So the drive to MVOC, which is an hour and a half, will be the test drive. That's good. I better make sure my CAA membership's valid. Alright, let's see how this looks. Can't believe how awesome this car looks. Oh, I can't wait to see this thing in action. Well, I'm not afraid to admit it here. Adam's a better welder. So I got him in there fixing the subframe for me. We just made a piece of bar to go across it out of some angle iron, and he's in there welding that in. We got another piece for the strut tower, and then I mean, that's basically it. The car's ready to go. It's good from afar, but far from good. But hey, look, what we got into this car so far, I added it all up. We're at $480. So we're $20 under our budget of $500. I might be able to afford to drive this to the show. You know? Anyway, that's basically it. Oh.
That's a breaker.
Blew the breaker. So that's basically it. I got a few little maintenance things like wiper blades and change the oil and that kind of stuff, but the next time you see this, it'll be at a show. Well, on the highway, on the way to the show. It'll be going to a show.